Hello everyone. If you remember, last time I left you I was making my way to Newquay in the Avro RJ100. This is the exciting conclusion where I land the aircraft, or rather I turn on the autopilot and let the autopilot land the aircraft. But if you like planes, it's probably worth watching. So, on with the show. I talked a bit about software changes as well, so nothing really major. I've upgraded to Prepar3d since the last time I did the flight video. Haven't upgraded to 4.4 yet. You know, PBR, physically based rendering, which is the major new feature in 4.4, doesn't really do anything much for me. If you don't have the content for it, it's not going to help you, and there's no significant performance increases that I know about. So I will go up to 4.4 eventually, but only once I'm sure everything is compatible. So the base software hasn't changed, but I added Pro ATCX, which we're using on this flight today, and recently added 4Flight alongside SkyDemon, so you've seen that. I've added a few new aircraft, so the QualityWings 146 series is the main one, and that's what I spent the majority of time adapting for the sim. But there are a few others. The Diamond DA62 I added recently, that's the grown-up version of the DA42, which I already had, although you haven't seen on this channel. And it just takes a while to get these things working properly in the sim. Getting the MCP to work with my Avro RJ or the BA146 was, to be honest, not easy. So the 146 has a different autopilot and a much simpler autopilot than the Avro RJ, which was an attempt to modernise the aircraft. So where the 146 is entirely steam gauge and pretty simple FMC, pretty simple autopilot, the Avro RJ is rather more complex, although by today's standards still fairly primitive.
Maintain present altitude. Expect vectors to runway 12. Present altitude vectors.
Right, vectors. But I knew that.
868.
Excuse me. So I concentrate on getting the more modern systems working. I don't really want to fly the 146 with the steam gauges. I'm not a steam gauge enthusiast. I do prefer a more modern cockpit environment. That's why, you know, I'm really keen to get in some of the newer jets with properly simulated modern avionics. And I'd really like, finally, for there to be some decent business jets in Prepared, with proper models of the G3000, G5000, those sorts of things. They're very few and far between, and the avionics tend to be a poor imitation of the real thing. I thought somebody would want to spend some money on that, but I guess maybe there's not a big enough target market. So to get the OpenCockpits MCP working took a fairly unholy combination of SPAD.Next scripting and FSUIPC. So SPAD.Next, I mentioned it on the channel before, it's the successor to SPAD, which itself was a program that replaced the existing Saitek drivers for Saitek panels, and it allowed you to change the way that your controls were assigned and worked in a way that you just couldn't with the existing Saitek drivers. SPAD then eventually just went out of support because the author stopped having the time to deal with it, and a new person stepped in and took over the source code, but has expanded it into basically a completely new product, SPAD.Next. I'm not sure if there's any SPAD code still in there, but SPAD.Next is a much wider product. So although it does the Saitek panels, it does them really well, it does lots of other things as well. So it does any old controller that you have. It's all lets you program and customize the controllers, but it has built-in support for quite a few devices, including, critically, the OpenCockpits MCP. And that allows me to interface to this without needing SIOC or any of those more complicated drivers. And so I can use SPAD to pick up the button pushes and other things that I do on the MCP, but actually getting them wired into the simulation was harder because SPAD can only really invoke SimConnect or FSUIPC commands or set LVARs, change variables. It can't do what FSUIPC can do, which is interact more directly with the sim. So in the end, because although some of these functions are based off the inbuilt autopilot and I can manipulate them with SimConnect and I can read values out of SimConnect, some of them are purely custom gauges, and of course they haven't programmed LVARs for all the gauges, so there's no way to know quite what state the autopilot is in other than by reading a few clues, looking at bits of information that may or may not be set, and you can't do it with any great accuracy. So in the end I ended up using mouse macros. Mouse macros is basically, you start recording the macro, you click on something in the cockpit, you give it a name, FSUIPC remembers that, and then when you execute the mouse macro it kind of virtually clicks on that piece of the cockpit again, and that works pretty well. And it's great that we've got it because there's no other way that I could have made any of this stuff work. But each of these button pushes is a mouse macro, each knob turn is a mouse macro, turn one way, turn the other, and it's not an ideal way to wire these things up. I can't control the light state on the buttons for some of these buttons properly. They're purely a binary flag that flips when you press the button, but if the button, if the light should go off because the mode has changed without a button press, the light just stays on. So for example, look, I've got VNAV and LNAV on, they are active, but I've got heading select and altitude hold on, and neither of those are actually active. If I change the heading here, it's not going to affect my course at all. So that is a little bit unrealistic, but thus far I've not been able to find any way around it.
Speedbird 286.
If you know a way, let me know.
Descend to flight level 170.
Descending to flight level 170, Speedbird 2868.
Speedbird 2868. Turn right heading 280.
Right turn heading 280, Speedbird.
Okay, we're being vectored now. So drop out of LNAV and heading select. Pretty sure ATC said left turn to 280, which makes no sense because that would have taken me all the way around. So never mind, but I've turned to 280, that's what really matters. On my way down now.
Heading 275 degrees, speed 210. All the way left hand round to Lambourne, 210 knots.
I can leave the VNAV mode in and it will manage my descent for me.
After Lambourne heading 275. Yeah, wrong way there. 275 degrees, Speedbird, no time.
Just going to set the QNH.
Speedbird 2868. Descend to flight level 120.
Descending to flight level 120, Speedbird 2868.
Speedbird 2868. Turn right heading 290.
Right turn heading 290, Speedbird 2868.
See Dartmoor there. And this is photographic scenery, don't forget, so it's not, this is what it really looks like. Very desolate. Spent some time on Dartmoor. It's good fun, but it can be a bit bleak when it's raining and windy. That's Bodmin more ahead of us, by the way.
Virgin 19, you're heading at 33 here.
Virgin 19, Roger, what level are you requesting this time?
31, but 330 is available.
Virgin 19, climb to level 330.
Attempt to level 330, Virgin 19.
So Newquay Airport is over there. Can't see it yet. Just heading past Plymouth. Plymouth is down there.
Ryanair 085 for London 132.6, goodbye.
You can see ships going in and out of Plymouth docks.
1326, goodbye.
That'd be quite a good area to explore VFR style. So I'll make sure I spend some time over Plymouth when I do my VFR flying from Land's End.
A33 regional level 270.
Speedbird 2868, descend to flight level 70, contact approach control on 122.15.
Descending to flight level 70, 122.15, Speedbird 2868. Approach, Speedbird 2868, with you passing flight level 130 for flight level 70.
Speedbird 2868, expect vectors to runway 12.
Vectors, runway 12, Speedbird 2868.
Okay, I'm going to switch the descent to VS mode. I'm going to reduce speed to 200 knots. I need to slow down so I can lose a bit more height before I get out over the coast. Put out a bit of drag. So put the spoilers out, well, the speed brake.
Now 120.4,
Now with the speed brake, you can't just put it out and wait till you reach your desired speed and then pop it back in again, because the autopilot will have already increased the thrust to try and compensate for what it thinks is the drag. So you got to gradually pull the speed brake back in.
Director, hello, it's Speedbird 59 Lima Lima, 757 with Echo, we're just passing 133, about to take up the whole land, we'll be level 120 by the
engine spooling down rather than up. But if you let it go too soon, then again you just accelerate away, so some management tasks to be done there. And actually, if we just pop outside for a second, there's the speed brake mechanism. It's I don't know if it's unique to this aircraft. I'm sure there are military aircraft do this. It's the only civilian aircraft I've seen that has a speed brake like this.
Sort of
fishtail approach.
Descent flight level 70, shuttle 9 kilo.
There's Bob Moore underneath us. That is not Newquay Airport, by the way, in case you were worried. We were overshooting it. And Newquay Airport is off to our left by a distance yet. Okay, let's get back into the cockpit and back to the hybrid view.
Speedbird 12 November, turn left heading 330. Left head 330, Speedbird 12 November. Ryanair 408, you want us to come back and speed? Sorry, Ryanair 408, yes, come back to 350 knots if not already, and descend to flight level 80. Descend flight level 80, we're at 250 knots, Ryanair 408.
Right, I'm going to slow down to 190 knots, and for that I'm going to need 18 degrees of flaps. So the flaps coming out.
Ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for landing,
Turn on the fasten
Speedbird
seatbelt sign.
2868, descend to flight level 60.
Descending to flight level 60, Speedbird 2868.
Additionally, footrest and video monitors must be returned to their original position. Thank you.
Keep me at 6,000 for a while, and then I'll get a instruction to descend to 3,000 fairly sharply, which is why I need to slow down a little bit to make sure I've still got room to get on the glide slope for the ILS.
485, turn riding 090, downwind. Head east, Speedbird 485.
Speedbird 2868, maintain present heading, descend to flight level 60.
Maintain present heading, descending to flight level 60, Speedbird 2868.
Okay, so power transfer unit on, DC pump on. That's in case we have a pump failure on the way down in the engine pumps. We'll start the APU, backup electrical power. Also, so I can switch to APU air for the final stage of the descent. Okay, we're about to head out off the coast.
70502, start your descent now. Heads up, we are starting descent, 70502. Thank you, and 70502, after Mayfield, 250 knots. After Mayfield, 250 knots, 70502.
Got a bit of cloud going on now. Nothing that's going to spoil the view on the way down, of course.
Speedbird 2868, turn left heading 275.
Left turn to heading 275, Speedbird 2868.
Look at the coastline. I think Orbx does coastlines very well. It's a little bit annoying that the terrain mesh resolves itself as you get nearer, so they do shift. You know, you'd like the mesh to be better looking further out, but I have tessellation on as high as it can get, so not much else I can do about that.
Number 100, 059, Lima Lima.
See Shamrock 748 coming into Newquay now. Now I'm not sure actually if that's a real aircraft in the real world or if that's coming from the simulator. I actually don't know. Interesting. Well, I guess we'll know, because if it's in the sim, given that we've got Wideview turned on, we will see it.
Pakistan 725, descent altitude 4000, QNH 1024 millibars.
So at a distance it would be
725.
out here somewhere.
Can we reduce speed now, 725?
725, maintain speed 220 knots and turn right heading 240.
Right heading 240, Pakistan 725.
725, call sign only to director 120.4.
1204.
I'm seeing anything on the TCAS, but then I don't think the TCAS currently works. It was causing a problem and they issued a service pack to fix it, and I think they did it by turning it off, which is a bit crap, but you know, hopefully there'll be a proper fix coming. Okay, APU is started. The patch in the APU gen. Leave the APU air till we get down to 3,000 feet.
Canada 858, descend altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1019 millibars, you have 24,
Shamrock
25 miles per hour, descend right. Down to 4,000 feet on 1019, check the mark, Canada 858.
I'm not seeing anything, so I think that might be real world traffic. which implies then that ForeFlight is getting that data from the internet. Or maybe not, I don't know. I mean, you would want ForeFlight to pick up your simulated traffic, not real world traffic, but I just don't know what it's doing.
Radar, good morning, India 112, 210 knots. India 112, landing 27 left, range 20 miles. India 112, speedbird 389 Romeo, turn right, heading 190. Right turn, head 190, speedbird 389 Romeo.
If there's anything out there, I cannot see it. Okay, I'm going to switch display to VL mode, ready for intercepting the ILS.
Good afternoon, London, my drive 33 November Juliet, 10-150, heading 170. November 33 November Juliet, hello to you, no speed restriction taking you downwind right hand for Luton. Okay, understand no speed restriction for 3 November Juliet. 3 November Juliet, A firm and descend flight level 100. Then flight level 100, 3 November Juliet.
Let's set the VOR.
3 November Juliet, turn left, radar heading of 125. Okay, turn left, heading 125, 3 November Juliet.
Speedbird 2868, turn left, heading 170, descend to 3000, QNH 1025.
Left turn to heading 170, descending to 3000, QNH 1025, Speedbird 2868.
I missed some of that detail, I have to ask him to say it again.
Say again. Speedbird 2868.
Speedbird 2868, turn left, heading 170, descend to 3000, QNH 1025.
Left turn to heading 170, descending to 3000, QNH 1025, Speedbird 2868.
I'm down to 170 knots, going to go 24 degrees of flap. The ILS frequency 110.5. 110.5. Gonna put it in both radios. Yeah, unfortunately you now get that sound. There's no way to turn that sound off. I can't find a volume control or anything like it.
Hello London, Transit 822 descending to flight level 200, heading 150. 150, 150. Okay, down 150 to be level 50 perimeters. Check.
Right, at this point I'm going to turn off the ATC chatter because it's getting slightly distracting. Switch the APU air in. Engine air off.
Speedbird 2868, descend to 3000.
Descending to 3000, cleared approach, tower at the marker, 122.12.
Another thing about Pro ATCX is that the verbal message and the actual message are often not the same thing. That's a bit annoying. Okay, taxi lights can go on. Come down to 150 knots and flaps to 30 degrees. That bit of drag slows down. Actually the glide slope is quite some way above me at the moment. That's my final turn before intercepting the localizer. Okay, we are good for landing. Can't see the airport beacon yet, but there it is, just there. Select approach mode. And the glide slope is still somewhere above us. So we're going to slow us down to 130 knots. Go full flaps. Alright, glide slope's coming down to meet us. .30 will be my final approach speed. Intercepted the localizer. Captured the glide slope. Gear down.
Flight attendant, please be seated for flight.
Just gradually reducing the speed brake. We're a little bit fast at the moment, but we're going to slow down fairly quickly. Just through aerodynamic drag with the flaps.
Radio altimeter.
Well, in theory, the aircraft should land itself. Let's put that to the test, shall we? A little bit of a crosswind there, knocking us off. And what I might do is put a little bit of footage of the descent from the cabin, probably at the end of the video. And normally I get that by running the instant replay. Check out the coastline though. It's really rather good. Cloud shadows. They always seem impossibly dark, but I guess that's what it's like in the real world. That is the town of Newquay over there. I just sneakily went in and increased the scenery density to dense. So if you notice that tiny jump cut, sorry, video's lie, what can I say? But the scenery looks even better like that. Can't run at that kind of level in London, although I can keep the auto gen very high as you saw, so it's still pretty convincing. But out here we can go for dense, probably even go for extremely dense and keep our frame rates. Okay, should get ready to take over if I need to, but the auto land and Cat 3 lights are on.
1000.
1 mile. The aircraft should land itself. What it should do is land and then throttle back, and once it reaches a certain speed the autopilot will disconnect automatically. All I have to do is apply the brakes. There is no auto brake on this aircraft.
500.
So getting ready to apply brakes. As soon as we touch down I will
300.
retard the throttles
Approaching decision height.
and turn off the auto throttle.
Minimums.
Here we go.
100. 60.
If it flares properly.
30.
Oh, it is.
20. 10.
And we're down. Out the brakes. Auto throttle off. You'll hear the autopilot disengage in a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be taxiing for the next few minutes, so please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until
Now I actually have to go to the end of the
runway.
runway to turn off, because although there was a previous turning, it's actually blocked off.
In the seat pockets and overhead bins where all
Of course, ATC doesn't know about that. Bring the flaps in.
Overhead bins, as the contents may have shifted during flight.
Turn off the landing lights. I'm going to turn off those horrible noises. There you go. And we're doing quite well there. Didn't see the Widetraffic bug that I've been having big problems with recently. See, there's another turn off that is blocked off. I mean, yeah, if I actually ran through those barriers, it wouldn't do anything. They're not actual objects in the sense that I can't collide with them. But I think you've got to stick with the rules. Still getting that annoying horizon flickering courtesy of Wideview. Don't know exactly why it does that. Cloud shadow just appeared. Oh well, odd things happen. Okay, let's go to ground. Alright, I know where I'm going. Now hopefully we're not going to find that there is another aircraft taxiing out. That has happened to me a few times here. And Pro ATCX doesn't seem to interface well enough with UT Live to prevent that from happening. So you can end up stuck. Almost looks as if that cloud shadow is just in one of the two views here and isn't in the other. I suppose that could happen. I don't know why it would, but it could do. Got to keep an eye on the ground speed here. Bear in mind that this view you're seeing is actually made of two views that are blended in the middle. So the one on the left is dark and the one on the right is not. And you know, yes, it could be a cloud shadow, but I would have thought the cloud shadow would have passed over by now. It does rather look like one window has gone dark and the other one hasn't. It's interesting. Can't imagine what might have caused that. More wide view fun, no doubt. Need to slow down a little bit. Try and keep your ground speed down to about 20. Trouble is, this aircraft is A, pretty light, and B, pretty powerful, so even with throttles at idle, you still keep going. Actually, yeah, I could have taken that taxiway. I did think it was blocked off, but it appears like it wasn't. This is UK 2000's Newquay, by the way. Seriously do not know what is going on with the lighting here. It does seem to have gone a bit wrong. No idea why. Oh well, we will have to live with it. Along with this very annoying horizon problem. And this is our parking position here. Yes, there are gates over there, but we are not destined for them. Yeah, look at that. It's definitely the case that one view has gone dark and the other one hasn't. Weird. And there we go. Parking brake on. Engines shut down. Engine pumps off. Engine generators off. Fuel pumps apart from left inner for the APU need to go off. Shush. Lights go off. And then air system goes off, APU air goes off. Passengers can unfasten their seatbelts. Now we'll bring up the ground power unit. AC power is available, we'll connect it. Disconnect the APU and shut the APU down. And let's tell GSX that we'd like to have deboarding. Pop outside. The cargo doors and the entry doors. So we've actually got the baggage loaders here. This is quite a nicely modelled airport. UK 2000's airports are always really good, but this is from the VFR airfield series. So it's not an extreme airport in its own right. It's kind of probably half detail level between between a stock airport and an extreme airport. Pretty good though. I haven't turned up the level of detail on the host machine, by the way, so there are taxiway markings missing, etc., that you can actually see outside. Now interestingly, the right hand side of the... Yes, the lights have equalised themselves. Not like it was a cloud shadow problem. I don't know why, but the cloud shadow persisted when it shouldn't have done. Oh well, chalk that one up to experience. Right, back to the aircraft. See the passengers deboarding here. I might try and park at the gate next time, but there are some obstacles in the way. So the animation on these figures is not the best. So they're casting shadows, which is slowing things down a little bit. Turn off the heaters. Up here, turn off the lift spoilers, the anti-skid, and the yaw damp master. That's pretty much shut down, done, until passengers deboarded and we can actually shut the plane down completely. That's just deboarding. I just realised I had the wrong camera on, so you weren't seeing that. So this is GSX level 2 in all its glory deboarding. You missed the cargo loaders, they've done their job already. I can close the cargo doors now. Might still be able to see them in the background somewhere. There they are. In fact, while we're here, again slightly sneakily, I've just turned the scenery level up, so apologies for the jump cut, but you can see that things look a lot better. So I'm off the line by a distance. Shame really. Could have done with a marshaller to bring me in, but never mind. Right, there's the next bus for the passengers, so it's coming from the other side of the terminal. This one will back up. These buses, I think, follow AFCAD routes. Don't know what that little backwards and forwards shimmy was all about. Anyway, so there you are. That is London City to Newquay. across. Wow, I've never seen a bus do that before, or indeed that. Yeah, okay. There's your realism out the window. Sorry, GSX. You know, there's much to recommend for you, but at the same time, you do some bloody stupid things as well. But as I was saying, that's London City to Newquay Airport within the confines of Orbx True Earth GB South. Hope you enjoyed that. I plan to make a few more videos in the QualityWings Avro RJ100, 85, 75, in and out of city and other smaller airports. A little bit of international flying potentially, but the next trip will be from here to Edinburgh Airport. That'll take us out of the True Earth scenery area, of course, back into FTX, EU, England, and then EU, Scotland. Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you thought this was a colossal waste of time, then happy to hear that. If you liked it, again, let me know and hit the like button. But if you stuck all the way through this video with me, then thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back on the channel very soon.
Approaching decision height. Minimums. 100, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20,